I just know that if I can hear the music, they can hear the music, and that means that they know what time of the day it is. Man, it is my time to relax. Welcome, everybody. This is the American Car Classics Radio Podcast. If you're the only one out there watching, then we're talking to you.
And we love
Thank you very much. I'm Kenny. This is Chris. And today, that's Stephanie. And Chris, last time you... Yeah, because I jumped over to you, and it was like a much smaller, shorter, more petite, longer-haired version of... Not you at all. So, welcome, everybody. We do hope that you've been doing good. We have been... Now, it's always busy. And I want to say that Chris says sometimes that this is not the normal podcast. There's nothing normal with Kenny in it because I'm a very odd, creative individual that has a lot to say, and sometimes it doesn't really make sense. But that's the personality of the show. And we look at Gas Monkey Garage and Richard Rawlings or all these other things, Graveyard and all this Mark Mormon and stuff, and that it is the personality of the person that gets you in. And Cletus is big, and he's making money, he's building stuff and doing stuff. But I don't know that he sits on there and he gets passionate with people on the camera. And I ooze passion because I'm passionate about everything that I do, everything that I say. Everything has a purpose or a meaning for the time, because time is not something that you can ask God for more of.
No, that's the one fleeting thing of the world. No matter how much money you have, you can never buy more time.
You can't change it, yeah.
Well, yeah, no matter how much money you have, you cannot change time.
Unless we're in the dark about something and there's a time machine that we do not know about.
Well, if we can build it, we'll build it. But I don't know that somebody's not going to get into a hot tub and get fried. So I don't know how well that'll work. Anyway, we do hope that y'all have been great. And you know what we want you to do. We want you to like us. Personally like us. But hit that little button with the blue hand that does this and subscribe.
Is it blue? That was red.
Well, Facebook is blue.
Okay, YouTube is red.
Hit the thumbs up.
That's right.
And YouTube's got a new thing called the hype button. So
it's a what?
It's a hype button.
Let me see that action again.
So it's the hype.
Oh, hype.
Hype it up.
Oh,
so
okay.
like if you can hype it, and then YouTube will be like, oh, you like it, so I'm gonna share it with other people.
Okay.
So if you
it's
like
more
us,
like a like and love, but a like and hype.
Yeah.
Do that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'll send a penny to everybody that hypes it up. So let's get out there and I'll autograph the penny, although it's very hard to
They don't make them anymore.
That's right. So now we're talking about something you can't even go buy.
No, you can't. It costs more.
You could exchange.
It costs more to make them than they were worth.
Yeah. So how have you been? You've been good?
I've been good. How about you?
I've been great. You had
were
a great
road tripping it.
Da, 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 da.
Stephanie, I look at you because I know that this was at the end. It was like, I'm like, go. And I knew, but you had to run Dolphin Auto. We had to leave it with somebody that was competent and knew what was going on. And
thank you for saying I'm competent. Thank you.
Because it's not an easy job. It's not an easy job. But we went. Summer, Kelly and I went, and Summer's going to join us later. And we're going to have some of that going on. And we're going to talk about the road trip to SEMA. This was supposed to be with Lucy, our 70 Nova, which in Dallas we got our minds blown about another Nova. But that was at Mecum Auction. So I don't want to start off with that, although it is really a lot about the show, because what an event. I've never gone. You've lived in Vegas. You've been.
I have.
Inside and out.
Nope, never been inside. Just outside.
You wanted to know what was going on inside? Did you want to go inside? Did you try to get inside?
Yeah, absolutely.
And they said, no.
No, you can't get in there.
Military card. I mean, something going on. I'm wounded. I get something. Nothing.
Now the last day of the event, they it's open to the public.
That is
it wasn't like that before, at least not to my knowledge.
No.
Now I used to work on Las Vegas monorail.
Yes, you did, Chris.
Which you guys you actually took to get to it.
Yeah. We posted a video of that.
It was the easiest way for you to commute. You told me I was like, where are you staying? Is it Strat? I was like, walk over to Sahara, just ride the monorail. It gets you right in front of the convention center.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about parking. You don't have to worry about anything like that. So you get a week pass and ride it. So the convenience of it. Now, I will say this, because I worked at the monorail. The only times I actually got to go in, because we had ticket machines at the time, this was a decade ago, if not longer, ticket machines inside the convention center. And so the only time we got to go in there during events was when the ticket machine wasn't working. And so then we could I got to go check the ticket machine.
Sneak in with a baseball bat, break it.
Right.
Yeah, so you sneak in. Or sometimes you would just say that the ticket machine wasn't working.
Right, and then break it while you're there.
Yeah.
And
Jump in. I mean, that was awesome. I mean, at least you had a way to get in and do. And you lived in Vegas.
No, I didn't live there. I've just visited there.
From Cali.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, from Cali, from Florida. My friend, about 15 years ago, got married out there.
Okay. But had you ever been to SEMA?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do this. And when I came back, I'm the Grinch, and my heart has grown. Except it's not my heart that has grown. It's just that I was able to alleviate a lot of pressure and stress, and I had a long road trip there and a long road trip back, which gives you time to grow perspective on how things have been going and doing. I've been entertaining selling Dolphin Auto. It's grown. We're out of room. It's stress. I've been here 13 and a half years, longer than pretty much all my marriages I've ever had. And there was 3 of those. So I'm like, what is my purpose going into 2026 that I can say there was enough desire to change that would make it worth it? And I've talked to you a lot, Chris. Stephanie, I've talked to you a lot. You two have become great friends and in communication and growth of me, and then the company grows with that. So we've made some decisions, and we're already trying to implement a couple of them we've talked about, and we're going to give it one more good hard run and see that we can't make it simpler and easier, because I am the problem at Dolphin Auto. I believe I'm a good boss, but I'm not a great businessman. And I want to change that, and I want to change it without quitting, because I really don't quit things very easily. So it's been a lot of trying to figure out how to do and what to do and where do you start when you've got such a mess like mice in the AC unit and what. I mean, no, it's just everything. Every corner of the shop needs attention somewhere. Stephanie.
Yes, sir. 100%.
So we're going to try to grow all this and do it. And next year, coming to Dolphin Auto, our CCTV cameras, we're going to go into a closed caption, and we're going to put them up, and we're going to let people have an extra link. If you want to sit there behind your computer and eat ho-hos and whatever else you might want to eat, gummy bears from me, and watch us. And if it has viewers, and if people are doing this, and it's completely free, and they're going to tune in, then I'm going to mic us up. And I believe that this is a spin-off on what can be, and it just adds the flavor of the personalities, because I believe the personality does make something grow special. People connect with somebody, and then they go. I remember
when we're singing in the shop and dancing and kicking each other?
If those are the good times, yeah, but people don't really want the fluffy good. They want the backfire where a muffler blows off or Kenny's freaking out. No, those aren't going to happen anymore. The muffler, yes. The Kenny freaking out, no. I've made some really good changes in my life due to some great people in my life, and I feel so much more ready to do something better. Because a lot of times you're intimidated by it. You're nervous. The intrepidation of where do you start and what you do. So
change is scary.
It is.
Yeah.
Even though you can see it right in front of you, it's not a black tunnel.
Yep. But a lot of people become paralyzed by indecision.
Analysis paralysis.
Mm-hmm. And I'm guilty of this. Is that probably right? I mean, it's like
you analyze the issue to the point of which you're paralyzed, and then nothing happens. And then you fall into that cycle again of buying another car because it's just there and it's a good deal, and you're going to add brakes and this and that to it so then you can sell it and make a profit. But then it's like, okay, now we have 4, and now that's $4,000 to put into 4 different cars, or like $4,000 total to put into 4 cars plus time, labor, and then you already have time and labor going into other people's cars. No, absolutely. So it just becomes a spiral to where you're analyzing everything and then getting paralyzed essentially from it.
Yeah. I agree with that 100%. And so we're all going to try to do something a little bit better. I've asked the crew to help implement some things, and you've had a little bit of suggestion to it and everything else. So it's all been really, really good and fun and all that. So I want to, as you start to talk about buying a car, Stephanie, I want to just jump right in here and cover this stuff. And Summer's just walked in. If you'll walk around the back of the cameras, but in front of the light or whatever, you can go in front of the light, walk into the light, and then you're going to hang over there for a few seconds. There might be I don't know. I got your seat here. But Stephanie, someone in your family is getting ready. I don't know if you want to mention names or whatever else, but y'all are looking at a car, and this is kind of a weird thing, and I don't know that Chris knows anything about it yet, does he?
Kind of vaguely. So my son and my dad was online, and he found a 2022, 2021 EcoBoost Mustang for sale, and it has a salvage title. Now, the salvage title, I was like, okay, first, I want you to check the impact bar. I want you to check this. I was like, bring it to the shop. I want it looked at first. I want to see if this is a brand new bumper. I want to see where the damage was. Then they get there. They tell me it's Orlando, so we can't bring it here. But I was like, I want it to go to a shop regardless. call around, find pre-purchase
inspections, yeah.
Because we do those, and I think
and we're leery about Orlando. It's big, it's fast, it's a lot going on, and there could be a lot of coverage in whatever you don't really know. So
well, and there's a lot of car auctions out there. There's a lot.
Yeah.
So this car was stolen, and first it was purchased, drove 1,000 miles, give or take a little, stolen, drove about 300 miles, give or take a little, and it was recovered. Supposedly, no work was really needed to be done.
No exterior damage they could tell. They probably revved the motor, did some burnouts, whatever, but you can't tell too much.
Yeah. So, I mean, at least this is what the dealership's telling them, is that there was no significant damage. There's no paperwork that shows significant damage or anything, just that it was stolen.
And this isn't a dealership automotive. This is not a manufacturer dealership.
No, this is like a mom and pop. Yeah, used car,
right.
one that you don't know where they're coming from. Knowing the people who have had vehicles here that have been totaled, I know the insurance picks them up, and then, they will decide what they want to do. A lot of times they do take them to auctions.
That's right.
They do part them out, stuff like that. So this, I'm assuming, went to an auction.
Yeah, I'm going to imagine. Was
sold to this dealership, and now they're reselling it. So it has a salvage title. And for me, what does that salvage title mean? Like, I can Google what a salvage title means, but that doesn't give me the answer. So that's what I was kind of bringing to you guys. What different types of titles do we have? Like, I know we have the title that I have for my car.
And then you got a rebuild title. You mentioned that one earlier, too.
Yeah, so we've got the rebuild title, but this wouldn't be considered a rebuild, would it? Because they didn't necessarily do any work. This was bought, stolen. They paid the customer what it was worth.
Yeah.
So it was a total loss.
But they put it back in the market, which means they must believe it's still safe, because you can't have a liability issue. That's product liability, and that's going to get you sued.
Right. But if it has a salvage title, who's responsible for that?
Well, now this is where we get into the gray area, because I'm not really 100% sure. That I know that a rebuild title is for a car that has had a heavy impact and they had to use another half or quarter of a car and do this, that it was restructurally built. But you have to redo spot welds. You have to weld in certain spots. You have to have it inspected.
There's
That's
inspections
correct.
when it goes rebuilt as well.
That's right.
Right. So there would be a paper trail.
There would be a paper trail of all that. So I think the biggest thing about it
and
is
they have
the
Carfax. They do have the Carfax reports on this.
Right.
Well,
I don't know if that matters, but
it's going to add skepticism to a new buyer. If you buy this car and you go to sell it 8,000 miles later, 20,000 miles, it's been a good car or whatever, but you're going to sell it. And someone's going to go, look at this is a problem. Yeah. And so half the value, in my opinion, right there. Now, you priced one out. You said 60,000 miles on it.
60,000 miles, same year. Now, this one is the blackout midnight package versus the one that my son's looking at is the blackout midnight package, which is more expensive. The one I looked at was just some silver.
But they were asking 28.
They were asking 28.9. Yeah.
And you're into this one at 14.
So that's the second.
Here's the next.
But wait, there's more.
It gets worse.
Yeah.
Here's the kicker. So on Facebook, the Facebook post or whatever it is said 14.1. They get there and they show them the dealership posting. They show them the other stuff and it says 17.1.
Now that might be taxes and everything out the door. I
doubt it.
I doubt it too.
So the way I see it is what does this person look like?
Okay.
Can I get them for, like, is this a poor looking person?
Well, they have to honor their advertised price. That's
customer's always right. I mean, technically,
it's law.
But if you don't screenshot it, they change it. What proof do you have?
Well, yeah, they can change the price, but they have to take it down.
That's right.
And all
That's
that.
right.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot to that. Legalities, I'm sure.
And I'm sure there's plenty of little
That's right. But this is where the shade of it all is, and you're just going to make sure that everything's still whatever.
Yeah.
But this is where the shade side of the scary stuff and everything else. So this is something that look, I can say that I've got 30 some years in the automotive world. I was an arbitrator out at the Clearwater Auto Auction, CP Clearwater Auto Auction for a few years, and you see some sketchy stuff. But you always got to learn. And so now, Stephanie, you did find out that in some states, you can't have
you cannot have a salvage title.
So
you cannot legally drive.
What if you buy this and he's in this for 2 years and it's a great car, and all of a sudden Florida brings back the inspection and all of a sudden they say, we don't do this. Now you got to sell it. What, out of state?
Well, I'm sure there would be grandfather's laws then, but I mean, here I don't know. I just don't.
Does it open you up for cops to pay more attention to you when they run your license plate and stuff like that because it was stolen before?
No, it's just the value. What's the value of this car?
And to me, the only way I would really be okay with owning or buying a car, that, and this is just Chris's personal opinion, is if it's just my daily beater. Like Gianna, my daughter, and her.
Well, this is essentially going to be his first car,
that's
second car.
That's not a daily beater. Theirs was $4,000 or $5,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not $17,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Right.
and I told him, I was like, I want you to look at all the other vehicles you can get for this price, their gas mileage, because I don't think he's really thinking far into it. And also
No, he's
insurance. Insurance is going to change.
Yeah.
And how old is he?
21.
Okay, so he's 21. He's already
21.
he's been driving for just a few years now because we'll call him my foster son. My foster son got in a car accident right behind our house, and he thought he killed 2 people in it. So that scared my son in driving, and scared me. And he didn't start driving until he moved here when he was 19, 20. So he's only been driving a little bit. He did get in a gnarly car accident his first year of driving, and he wrecked my car, totaled it.
Not his fault.
No, the lady,
But
a
it
US
was-
one.
right,
but
but
it
it
was
was-
a gnarly accident. The one lady broke her neck.
Scary.
Yeah. So I'm terrified for my child to have a Mustang. Like,
I would be too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Outside of just owning a Mustang and being young and insurance, outside of all that, right? So it's something all of our viewers can relate to, is buying a car, falling in love with a car that you want to buy, but then it's a salvage title.
Yeah.
Is it a smart decision? And that's really up to you whether you want to spend the money on it or not. If you think it's a good investment, it probably never is.
No, that's right.
And the way people change cars so frequently now, it's not worth it. I mean, you pay 17 for it today, and it's going to be worth 10 the next time you roll it off the
next
lot.
moment, your
I'm going to
pocket.
change the subject. We're going to write in off a segue of just because you have the money to buy it doesn't mean you should buy it.
Correct.
Chris, we went to Orlando and we bought a car. You
Yeah.
bought a car.
I did.
I was with you.
Yep.
I helped the negotiation, got it down fair,
That Camaro.
and you've sold it already.
I have sold it
Oh,
already.
okay.
Yeah.
Let's hear about this.
I want to because you get excited about stuff, and I love this because you aren't in the game like I am in the game, and you're much more methodical and precise about it. And you've got a wife to keep happy, and I don't. So you make decisions that are more valuable than I do, and I'm going to say that fairly. You wanted this car. You love the Gen 3 Camaros.
I do like third gen Camaros. I wanted an IROC.
And you
I've
went
been
out.
wanting an
You
IROC.
started putting work into this. You were on the ground.
Yeah.
Couple bolts.
Marcy sent me a couple pictures of Chris working on a weekend.
Oh, really?
No
Yeah.
videos of him cussing.
No videos of cussing.
Because I
just-
got a couple phone calls that were like, "Damn, what? How am I not? Why is this breaking?" So
Yeah.
No, mine was like peaceful day working on the Camaro and football.
Grinding out bolts.
but you did some stuff on it. You did something that needed to
did.
be done, and
Yep.
then you said,
I got everything working.
"I'm out."
Yeah. Well, here's my thing, right? When I bought the Camaro, had it not been such a good deal, had you not got the guy down to such a good price, I wouldn't have bought it, because that's not the type of car I was looking for. It was a project car, and I really wasn't looking for a quote unquote project car.
No.
I wanted something I could drive now and enjoy now, do little things here, little upgrades here, kind of like where Pearl's at right now.
But you knew the value of a good Gen
IROC,
3.
yeah.
And
Yep.
and you said to me at Mecum,
Oh, they go. They're
not one has
expensive.
gone under 20 grand.
No.
But they've all had less than 100,000 miles.
Yeah, they've had like 80,000. They'll go for like 20 grand.
And this one had 150 that
40.
140 that we were aware of, and it had obvious problems that we knew, but it did run and drive. The guy drove it to the place off the
Yeah, I
interstate,
mean,
drove it everywhere. We drove. I mean, it was
mecanically good.
yeah. It
was
made it back to
mechanically good.
Gainesville
Mhm.
after you sold it, so it was mechanically good.
And I knew that, and that was good. It had a lot of little issues, like the trunk hatch that didn't work. The windows were kind of air conditioner
seals.
didn't work. Some
Yeah.
seals. I mean, there was a lot of littles, and I fixed all the littles.
But then
I
there-
changed the lower control arms. I changed the panhard bar, so
But
the
then
suspension
there were
rode better.
floorboards
And so-
and bigger.
And so yeah, the driver's floor pan was rusted out, which I knew about that. And then that was the biggest thing, really, was the driver floor pans. But after I fixed all the littles, And then I had to now I got the big stuff to deal with. And I just didn't want to do it.
And even when you fixed some littles, you still had a couple issues, and you went to the interweb where you started looking at some forums, and they're like, "Man, this happens. It's there. They're known for that. This is where it's at and stuff."
And I'm not that guy.
You kind of got. So, is there another Gen 3 that's going to be in your future that won't have T-tops? Maybe you'll look at that to eliminate, because that was a stickler on it.
Maybe I ended up getting the T-tops fixed.
But we got this. You got this cheap.
Oh yeah.
And you ultimately did some work, and although if you had to get paid for your labor, you didn't make money, but because when you do this, zero times you ever put a value on your labor, because it's fun and you love it.
You know what? We've did an episode on this. So if it is cheaper to buy one done than it is to do one,
without a doubt. But that means you're not getting $3,700 Gen 3 Camaro. You're paying 15 and you've looked at a couple others up there, and some of them are still not where you want them to be or what. But how much do you have to look at a car to really know? How much can you look at a car without a lift? First of all,
not a lot, especially a
Camaro.
I mean, because
I might be able to put my head underneath it and be like, "Look, here's my phone."
But an IROC, where you've got the surroundings and everything else, you're not, and so it is tough, and so it is buyer beware. As
you need your
other people have taught us.
selfie 360s that you can put under and like rotate.
What an incredible idea to bring that, and then you think about because you can shove that stick under there and it can go places and look, and then you can play the damn thing back. No, that's incredible, right? Because
I got it after I bought it. I'd put it up on the jacks and all that kind of stuff, and the underneath looked great. I mean, other than the driver's floor pan, it looked fine.
Right.
So okay, what was the ultimate reason for passing on this IROC?
Yeah, because it was the luster came off. It was
you wanted this.
You weren't going out Saturday morning. Now the family's asleep and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
AC's on everything. You're not going out there happy. I'm going to work. Here's my next project on it. It was like, yeah.
So I know how I am, and I know who I am, and I knew what was involved in getting the floor pans, and so the interior was going to come out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The carpet was going to come out. All that was coming out. And it's one of those rabbit holes. Well, now that this is out, might as well do this. And now you might as well do it.
Yes, sir.
While I'm already here, and since I'm here, let me do this. And since I'm here, let me do this.
I will tell you, customers do
and
that.
all I see is cha-ching, 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 cha-ching.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't have it in me.
Yeah.
I don't have it in me to do that on this car.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? I still love Pearl. There's still things on Pearl I want to do in my truck.
Right.
I was like, I'd rather take that money and put it into Pearl.
Absolutely.
And so
because she's so
just
close to great.
Yeah, she's on the verge of amazing.
Yeah, so we did have a talk this morning during breakfast, which I really appreciate having the time to do that with you today. It really helped set the mood again and I've got other reasons, and she knows why and all that. But so it was just a good conversation, because you've already said, I know where I'm going to save and plan what I'm going to do next on her and make her right. On Pearl, we painted her, has it been a year?
Since you painted her?
Yeah.
No, we painted her in May.
No. Yeah.
She sat out there for 4. You got her back in June. Was it? Okay. So the bed has yellowed on one side. We had some Bondo bleed.
I would say it goldened.
Okay, we had Bondo bleed. And if anybody knows anything about body work, which I've had to do a lot of learning on this, Bondo bleed is it bled through the paint. It's not that we didn't have enough layers or anything else. I think there was a lack of cure time in it and letting it shrink down and getting all of it. It didn't soda pop or any of that stuff. It bled through the paint. But it took months.
Yeah.
2 or 3 months anyway before it really started.
And it's only the one
side.
I almost think the other side, I see a little fade on it.
It's not nearly as noticeable.
Nearly. So we did body work on one side.
And even from the door to the bed is different.
Absolutely. No, so the gas door is not.
That's
because that got shot off the truck. So what happened was we do body work on one side of the truck, and that all has time to sit there. Well, the whole next week we're doing all the work on the other side, and then you're done with the body work, and you take it right into paint, and it's like.
And we were trying to get this painted quickly in order to get it into a Ford's garage.
That's correct. That's correct. So I think that we just rushed on the one side. The other side had plenty of time to dry and do. So we're going to go back in there and we're going to attempt to shoot this identical to what the rest of the truck was without having to do any kind of anything on it. And I believe it's going to be possible because the color we went with was a white color, gem white with pearl, heavy pearl, golden greens. Mm-hmm. Is that what it was? Greens and golds?
was gold. I don't know about green.
I think
don't
it was.
remember.
So, okay. So we went in there and did. So I think we're going to be able to match that back up. We have a great paint system thanks to Jake Bragg and the APS staff. And this is something we're going to be able to go back into the computer, look at what we did, and hit the buttons that will remix it the way it was, weight-wise, and all that. So
yeah, that's why I got rid of the Camaro.
Yeah.
I didn't have it in me. And to me, I like IROCs. I like third gens. And it's just not fair for them to sit there.
No,
it could have sat there in my garage for 2 years until I got fired up about it again. But I'm not that person.
But the guy that came down and bought it,
man, this is wild. That dude was wild.
Yeah.
He was an older guy, retired.
75.
Was he 75?
I think he said 75 to me.
Did I say
I do
that?
believe he did. I may be wrong, but I believe.
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if he said his age. But anyway,
Okay.
this is fly by the seat of your pants kind of guy.
Yeah, he said to you, "Hey, I'm here to buy the car. Can I drive it back to Gainesville?" And you're like,
I was like, it's 36 years old. I mean,
"You could do whatever you want. Is it going to make it? I can't crystal ball that."
He's like, it runs. I was like, runs, drives, stops. I mean, everything works.
Yeah.
I mean, I had everything working.
Right.
As far as making a 3-hour drive, I don't know, dude. I mean, you're rolling the dice.
You're
It's
like,
an old car.
I haven't done it.
Yeah.
The one thing you said to him was, "I'd stop and buy some tires on the way."
I told him, you need some tires.
Because there are May pops, but these were wheel pops,
Yeah.
and so he did do that.
I
he
think
did
he
let you
did. I'm
know.
not sure if he did
he
or
did
not.
let you know that he made it home.
Yeah, so I wanted him, Laura's put in my heart, text him, see if he got home. I was like, hey, and so I texted him. I was like, hey, Terry, man, did you make it home? He's like, yeah, I made it home. He's like, it started overheating a little bit. I was like, really? I was like, I had that thing idling in the driveway for like 2 hours, never overheated. I was like, that's really weird. And then he said there was something else. I don't remember what it was.
But you called me, Chris, and you said, "Hey, this guy's just bought this car." I was like, "Cool, you bought it, man. That's great. I'm glad you got rid of it. And we know the price." He's like, "But do me a favor and the guy was a good guy. He's going to drive it to Gainesville."
Yeah,
I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah. So just say a little prayer." And we did,
say a prayer for him.
and then the guy called and said he made it. And I appreciate that. It was very cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
All right. Anything from you on before we jump back into SEMA?
No. Oh, wait. Yeah. So Terry, this guy was wild, right? The guy that bought the Camaro.
Yeah.
When he showed up, he started it up, let it run for like 30 seconds. He's like, all right, cool, let's go. And like, he didn't test drive it or nothing. He just, I was like, all right, man, you're a wild man.
Okay.
You're a wild man. All right, dude.
So my ex-husband bought a boat like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just
At the fly. Yeah. He looked at it online and was like, oh, okay, I'll take that. We take that boat out. I did not realize that they did not take this boat out. We take it out with the kids. Meanwhile, my daughter is 3 months old. This boat makes it just about a mile, like from where we launched it. And there's beach here, beach here. You're still in the canal trying to get out. And we're stuck.
Like
it
it
just
shut
died.
It just died. It started taking on water. We were there for like 4 hours, just taking on water slowly. We didn't bring snack. This was just,
Did you bring a baler?
Well, we had a bag and we had a box. Avery was a breastfed baby, so we had her like nursing blankets and stuff. So Connor was taking those and like filling them up with water. And we had a water bottle, one water bottle that we ripped the top off of and used that. But in the process, he swam. He thought it was a battery because the battery area filled up with water. So we cleaned that up and he swam across to the beach, got another battery from his friend who pulled up. He put it in a bunch of life jackets and a cooler and swam it back.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got Summer on the camera.
Welcome, child.
You're allowed to smile. Huh? You're allowed to smile. It's like you were trying
and
to
you're
hold
not
it
on the
back.
clock, so I can't order you around.
You try.
I do, because I'm El Jefe.
El Jefe.
Hey, we went to SEMA, Summer and I. We drove and didn't get any tickets and didn't hit any deer, although we do have some deer chunk on the front of the car. Sorry, Mom, I love you.
I thought it was seaweed.
She did, too. She thought it was red kelp. Because the car ahead in front of me hit a car, hit a deer. And it went off the side of the road, and the stuff was still It was not.
What?
Yeah, I think she was. This is where I took the picture of you sleeping before you were sleeping that one day out of Mississippi, left Jackson, Mississippi, heading to Mobile.
You took a picture of me sleeping?
Yeah.
Creepo.
No, it's not.
El Heifer. El Hefo. Whatever you're calling yourself.
El Jefe. El Jefe is what?
The boss.
The boss. And we learned that. Chris and I know it because the Three Amigos.
Well, I just know it because that's what it means.
Okay, well, I didn't know that. So I know the Three Amigos because I'm on the boards and I'm riding around and LFA, hey, we love you, LFA. So my favorite part about the Three Amigos as I squirrel into that is plethora. I love the word plethora. It means many.
Lots and lots.
So we had a good time. We had a great time. We had, this was your first experience, but you're young. And I'm going to take the girl part out of it, but you're new to the automotive industry. Now, we talked earlier before you got here. Chris lived there a long time. He went many, many times. They didn't have the open Friday access to the public like they did for us, but there were tens of thousands of people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
You don't even get in before you look over the railing off the monorail, and there's Hoonigan's Pit. And they're doing wicked burnout.
Yeah, and I don't know if you realize or appreciate what you just went through. There are car guys in their 60s that have never been to SEMA.
Yeah.
And they've wanted to, and they can't.
They've rebuilt, I don't know how many cars, probably frame off, and still have never been to SEMA.
Right.
Wow.
You had your birthday there, and you turned how old?
19.
And you've already been to SEMA.
Yeah. It's pretty
And
cool.
spent a whole week there.
So what I didn't allude to the fact that what we've talked about and what I'd like to try to do is if 2026 goes great and that if we are able to get in here and rebuild Dolphin Auto and Collision and we're able to make it great and keep going all this, I'm going to get with Steve, Scuba Steve, at our shop, and I'm going to see that we want to take a 2-vehicle convoy, him pulling a trailer and me being in a Sprinter with a trailer or a motorhome with a trailer, and we're going to bring out Lucy. And we're going to try first, we're going to work the magic, and we're going to see if we can get our place on the floor in SEMA because there were no Novas. I don't care what year, there were no Novas. And it's so many big trucks now, but I think that Lucy has a spot. And we saw a couple vehicles that had a patina, but it was fake.
Yeah, it was a fake patina.
And it wasn't, they were fun. They were good trucks. They were good cars. They were all, but it wasn't like that. And Lucy,
I saw a lot of newer looking things, it seemed like, versus.
Well, SEMA, sorry about that. I had to cough. SEMA is about new product.
Yes.
It is. That's what SEMA is about,
Okay,
putting
so
out
that
the
makes
new
sense
product.
then.
So all that, but it is the classic cars. Chip Foose came out, Ken Diggett came out. They all brought classic builds. So this has to do with the classic car world. This is why I'm so in love with it, that what you get to see and do. Yes, all the new product as a shop owner is absolutely thrilling for me. Costly as hell. We saw an alignment machine that is now works off of AI.
I was going to ask, so every year in SEMA, they give awards for like the best tech and the best innovation. They have all these different awards. So what stood out in your mind? I was like, if I could put this in the shop, this is what I'd put in the shop.
You liked the exhaust pipe bendy machine thing.
Okay, so there was a great bender, a mandrel, full on. It was doing molly tubing for roll cage and everything, but it was full CNC automated.
Oh wow!
Yeah, you're typing in everything you want, degree
Put the
pattern,
angles in there and all that?
and it's doing and doing it. You just hit your welds and whatever. We saw a lot of TIG fabrication, TIG welding, which is big. We got into 3M. We talked to Jennifer about edu.org out in Orlando that is doing the PPF clears and everything else on wraps. I don't know. I sound like I talked good style, like I knew what I was talking about. I don't know. It was great to watch this, to learn, to talk to an educator, but we learned from David Morton out at Mecum Auctions in Dallas, where we went on the way to Mecum, that there are a lot of grants out there for young individuals that want to learn and grow in this, and that women have a spot in this. In fact, they are looked at as accelerators because they drive a lot of interest. For me, because you're in a body shop, I really was taken with this wrap and what kind of paint under it and how long does the paint last or does it get damaged and what can you lay it over, paint quality, and what's going to happen when it doesn't last. And we met a guy from Vero who was smart. He knew his stuff, and but he was still there to learn and grow.
That's pretty cool that he was from Vero, though.
Right, a small world, man. We met people from Florida just on the monorail and everything else. We just kept running into people from and we'd tell them we drove, and they're like, "What?" but I want to get Lucy in there. I want to bring I have a 1970 Mighty SS that's all original too, and I'd like to get those two cars into SEMA. What a great deal! We learned a lot about. We asked questions. What are you doing with this car after SEMA? Does it get sold? How did you put the money into this? Because we watched a $200,000 pickup truck burn that we videotaped.
Yeah, I saw those videos. Yeah.
This will all be in. You'll be seeing it when we're talking about it. But this is some maddening stuff. Was it worth the trip out there and the time to take it and to drive and do and see?
Yeah, I think so.
What'd you bring back from it? I mean, other than, those two gigolo dancers that were there on your birthday. That's a whole different.
Did you get a tattoo?
I did get a tattoo.
You did get a tattoo. I did too.
A fake one.
But it's still on me.
He was supposed to get ARF. And he didn't.
I didn't get ARF, but I've got some work coming for some streets, so I'm going to do that there and all. But it was fun, and you did get a tattoo, and it was a chick artist.
Yeah.
You went and found her and everything else. We met another chick out in the arts district.
Yeah,
who is she is so connected to she knows everybody from Welder Up. She was on the show a few times. She had to pull out of it because the fans were following her around and doing. She's like, you don't know the pressure that people go through. Yeah, I do, because I knew a lot of wrestlers way back in the day, and I knew what it took for them to be able to come to the restaurant and eat, or come to the garage and get the car worked on, and not be all. I worked on Evel Knievel's car once, and I'll tell you a side story about that. But it was just. As old and everything else, the guy couldn't get left alone. And you don't even know who Evel Knievel is.
No.
Okay. So SEMA was in Hoonigans, just doing the burnouts.
That was pretty cool.
Speak up. Say it again.
That was pretty cool.
Cool. Like you're mad at me. That was pretty cool, Kenny. So they're building these trucks with LSs, twin turbos, these cars.
Yeah.
Big wheels, strong drive shafts, rear ends. I mean, they're putting money in these things just to go out, Chris, and do massive, epic,
destroy them.
5-minute long burnouts.
Yeah.
In circle driving, just hooking up.
What's burnout competition?
But
does somebody make money in this?
There was no winner. This was just Hoonigan putting it on that you got to. They had bleachers set up, and you sit there and watch it, and they're blowing tires, but they were blowing engines.
I think Hoonigan's trying to get their crowd back. They lost a lot of their crowd once their founder passed away.
Yeah,
they kind of lost their direction, and now they're trying to get back to what made them very, very popular.
Yeah, we put some.
It's funny. I thought it said hooligans on it.
Hoonigans.
And then when I was editing the video, I went back and I was like, oh, it doesn't say hooligans, but I thought it said hooligans, and then that's where you would go, and all the people are doing hooligan-y things like burnouts and stuff like that.
I'm sure it's a play on words, and I'm sure it has a meaning and definition. Always right. Know it. So this is where we say, hey, like and subscribe. If you know more about it, and I haven't read into it yet, and everything else, drop us something. Put a comment out there that other people can get filled in on what it was about it and all this. We do know that it was Ken Block. You do know Ken Block, and you do know how he was killed and everything else. We talked about that. He had a car there. We had one of his cars there. I believe it was a Porsche, was it? You know all those important things, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty badass. You made some real videos off it and everything. But we tried to find people to communicate with, but everybody was so busy with it all. But I was blown away by the amount of money that was put into these cars to just blow them up.
Well, so I did notice a lot of them had, not a lot of them, a good portion of them had sponsorship labels on them. So I would assume that, parts come from different places to make it up for that. And then they're sponsored throughout that. But yeah, how much money are you putting of your own personal money into that? Like, is that your advertising? Is that then like, okay, this is my video. This is all of my advertising budget for the year I'll put into this. And now I can make videos and all this stuff.
They don't do it and lose money. I mean, you have a $200,000 build. To your point, you have a lot of sponsors that will give you brakes and suspension and engines and transmissions and paint and all that. You have tons of sponsors that will pay for those things. And then you have your labor, right? Well, you got to pay for your labor. You know that as well as I do. But now your name is out there, whether it be Dolphin Auto. Right. So now you have a tax write-off for that, right? So
I didn't think about the tax write-off.
Yeah, you have advertisements where you can write off. It's an advertising expense and this, that. So they're not doing this and losing money.
Yeah. No. Okay. Makes sense now.
So for your job, that you are in the body shop as an apprentice. You're learning. You've been working with Roy for a few months now. You got started working with Steve, doing a couple different things and stuff. You're getting to learn a little bit of different stuff. You went and saw. I really was taken back by the wrap stuff and everything else. You saw some epic paint jobs, some great stuff and everything else. Was there anything more that you took away from it on that aspect?
I mean, there was definitely a lot to look at in there, so it was a little like almost overwhelming to take in everything there.
Chris, this is what we started off before she got there, and let's talk about that because SEMA is grown. It's 30 some years old now, and it has grown so big. We thought we did upstairs, downstairs, all the building, and then we were on the monorail. And we were going to go to get a burger or something, and we're like, "Oh, do you see it's way over there too?" Because there's a walkway to go over, and we thought that was all part of it. Now we got there, and that was not part of it, but we didn't know how much more had expanded, and it was massive. I did not know anything about the parade at the end.
Oh, really? They do it every year.
The concert?
We didn't read.
Well, you have
no,
the concert,
no.
but you have the parade, the end of SEMA parade where the cars will
The cops have shut the roads down.
Yeah.
And they are lined up and they're going and it takes an hour or more because they're rocking out at 5 miles an hour and we're running. I am saying to myself and saying to Summer out loud, I don't know how long these cars can sit here and idle and run like this forever. Because, I mean,
some of them break down.
Radical, they get hot. They
some of them break down. Yeah.
Right. But we had a great time, and it was our first experience. And if things can go right with Dolphin Auto and Collision and everything else, then we're going to go ahead and try and bring this back next year and make it better. And now we have learned the footprint of it because we were SEMA virgins and it was all that. But now we get to go out there and really figure out how to implement what we learned, how to make some of this happen, how to gain a sponsorship for it. Because, and I want to do, look, I would have regretted, had Lucy been ready and done, I probably would have rented a U-Haul and trailered her home.
Why?
Because the ride was massive, man.
It's a long drive. I've done it twice.
We stopped at Cadillac Ranch in Amarillo, Texas. That
was pretty cool.
But it was cold.
Oh my God, it was so cold.
35 degree temperature with 35 mile an hour winds at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I mean, it was running. It was turning.
Your cheeks are just rosy.
I've made that drive to Vegas from the East Coast a couple times. I drove from Florida to Vegas and back twice. And I drove from Vegas to Tennessee twice.
With a U-Haul and I mean.
Well, sometimes it was just me. Sometimes it was
but
my
you did
camper.
a big truck, right?
But I forgot all about telling you to stop at Cadillac Ranch until you said, yeah, we're outside Amarillo. I'm like, oh, Cadillac Ranch, you got to go to Cadillac Ranch.
Yeah.
So.
And
what is it?
When we got out there, there were already people out there earlier than us, and everybody had spray cans, and they were taking pictures. And will you take pictures of us? We'll take pictures of you. But what is Cadillac Ranch?
I don't remember how many Cadillacs is it.
10
Cadillacs buried nose down.
Okay.
All in a row.
I saw those pictures.
But they were lower. They were buried deep, and then it was less and less, and so they stood. So some of them were most of the car out, as where some of them were only up to the middle of the doors.
It's been there for decades, and I don't think it was ever intended to be there.
1974.
Yeah, I don't think it was ever intended to be there that long and become the icon that it is.
Yeah.
Well, we will tell you that nothing is rusting out there because they've got so much paint.
Layers and layers of paint on it.
What I took back from it, Stevie, was that the guy that put this up had to have this iconic vision of what it would look like years later. And then somebody came out and graffitied it. And it's almost like the first person was like, oh, what are you doing? Why are you desecrating this beautiful artwork? But now it's got this cult following that you go out with paint to paint it.
Yeah. If you can't win it, join
a lot of times there's paint cans sitting there, that people leave behind, and you can paint.
Not only that, there are at the gate. You've got to walk through this little thing to get there, and then you walk 100 yards out to it. There are barricades where you can park next to, and they are graffitied on both sides of the road. Not only that, but how the road was like a quarter of a mile of the road was done in graffiti.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Well, it's been a while since I've been there. It's been a long time
It
since
was
I've been there.
epic. at first thing in the morning, getting out of the hotel room, and here again, we're mid-drive, we're tired. I mean, we just got done with Dallas and the Meekum and everything else. We're heading all the way to Albuquerque.
Summer's probably over it already. She's like, oh, who is this guy?
We're going to Albuquerque. I want to get to Albuquerque. Breaking Bad. And I'm like, okay. I watched it and everything else, kind of crazy and everything else. So we went and saw the Breaking Bad, and it happened to be what holiday?
I forget how you say it in Spanish.
The
Day of the Dead.
The Day of the Dead.
Dias de los Muertos.
Yeah, Dia de los
And
Muertos.
what Chris said.
What Chris said.
I had a lot to do, and it was getting ready to be her birthday, and she was high on this, and we drove into it, and it was like Mardi Gras, but with everything of the Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
And so I dropped her off in the middle of this park festive that was going on, and I got to a Walgreens. I took care of everything I had to do, birthday cards, all these things, and let her go for like an hour, close to an hour, and she just beaming and had such an epic great time that was totally unexpected, just like Cadillac Ranch was totally unexpected. So the adventures we found along the way were epic and awesome in themselves.
Yeah, if you can do road trips and take time to enjoy those types of things, road trips can be kind of cool.
I love road trips. That's what I mean. Avery and I have drove to and from California.
Oh my!
And
I hate road trips.
We loved it. I mean, that last 8 hours was the worst. Like driving in Florida sucked. From the Panhandle
Florida's
to
a
here,
long one.
and Texas, it sucked.
Yeah,
but we stopped.
But because Texas had the Meekum in the middle, and that's where my nephew was and everything else.
Yeah, how was we?
Yeah,
little Meekum.
We had such a great time. It was when we were coming home. We knew that we weren't going to stop 3 hours short in Florida. We weren't going to stop in Gainesville because we were wiped out.
Yeah.
So we were able to ride the high and get home and all that.
So Meekum, you said something about a Nova. Meekum? So real quick, fun fact. You know what Nova means in Spanish?
Yeah, it's slow, right?
No go,
right? So we had credentials. Stephanie got us credentials with Meekum to go out to Las Vegas. It was the week after, which also they had the NHRA Nationals
was
out
there too.
It was out there.
Well.
So it was a lot going on because if we had money and time to do all that, it would have been epic to continue doing this. But we knew that we weren't going to get there. So I called you on a Friday, and I said, "Hey, will you reach out to David Morton and see if we can get past this?" And lo and behold, he did.
David, you're awesome. We appreciate that.
Man. You
Quick
are
on
the
your
man.
feet.
And we had an epic time and got to see Matt Avery out there and missed the podcast with all that, but Meekum in the morning that he does. But we got to meet up with Matt for a few minutes. Got him a shirt from the Lucy's road trip to Vegas, and we had a great meeting with him. But then we got to meet David Morton. He spent so much time with us, and I'm going to say that not sexist. I'm going to say a lot of it was to do that. Summer was there, and he was enthralled with this young female that came in and was going to work with Kenny. But to learn and grow and to build and to do this out of desire. And while we're sitting there, we learned about the Guntov. Is that Guntov Corvette? Do you know who Guntov is?
The Slavic
guy. Yeah, this is David Morton, knew all about him. And David Morton is not a car guy. He's a media.
I'm sure he's has some car knowledge.
I talked about
he was a marketing guy. Right?
He's a marketing guy. Yeah. What he said was all that stuff that Kenny just said. I don't know what it means, didn't he? Because I went on about all this, and he's like, I don't know what all that means. So he's not. He has no interest in these cars.
He's just good at marketing.
He's great at marketing. That's why he's the marketing director for Meekum Auctions, the largest auto auction in the world of classic cars. But we were sitting there at the Bid Goes On booth, and we're talking. And we're watching some cars come through because there was a purple one that we never got to see go through, but we saw a lot of them come through.
Yeah.
And some of the money was really flat, and some of the money was just like an auction, Chris. It was great. But then this 1970 silver 2-door Nova comes through. I shot you the numbers. Did you ever get to look it up?
I never saw it.
Oh no. Okay. We'll add this in because I've got to find out. And we've just been that busy having to get back. When we got back, I wiped out.
And then you were at work the next day.
Yeah, 3 times. But I didn't show up till 10:30, and then I didn't show up the next day till like noon. The next day, now I'm back into where I feel good and everything else.
It's
and I got
okay.
the
We're
energy
not judging you.
But this Nova. That I looked at the exhaust as it went out. It had a factory engine. It wasn't big. Maybe it didn't have factory. I didn't hear the particulars. I don't know if it was one owner with 6,000 miles or anything. But it had dual exhaust. It was not an SS. It did not have bucket seats. And
what color was it?
It was silver, and it was an S because it was a Saturday.
And it went on Saturday the 1st.
It did. and it sold for $250,000.
Goodness gracious.
It's beautiful, though.
Is it? Are you looking at it?
I believe so.
Okay, so as Stephanie's trying to find up some facts on this thing, David was even getting excited. This is like, are you kidding me? Are we watching? We watched two bidders go through, and one was on the phone, and one was in. And Frank was over there working this guy, and they were bringing it, and Frank's like, yeah, just pulling it off, and he doesn't get excited over tons of stuff, but when it's going off and 250,
I'd be excited too for a 70 Nova going for over 200 grand.
Reserve was off at like low.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And for
it looks really clean.
Okay, well, read something. Read what it says.
Hold on, sorry. I was looking at pictures and I got distracted, guys.
Well, we'll put some pictures up as we do this.
We'll put pictures
One
up.
of 3,765 Nova L78S, produced in 1970s. Odometer reads 11,319 miles. In original owner's care until August 1, 2025. Matching numbers, factory L78, a 396, 375 HP V8.
Okay, so big block.
A Munich M20 four-speed manual transmission.
Four-speed car.
Cortez silver exterior and black vinyl interior.
Yeah.
12-bolt.
Rear end. So what made it was that it's a big block 4-speed with only 11,000 miles sold by the original owner. Well, I've got
original dealer sales invoice.
Right.
Window stickers.
$250,000. We were blown away. I don't have all that with Lucy, but she's got 36,000 original documented miles. And no, I don't have, I still have the 6-cylinder. I have the Power Glide. I have the 14-inch wheels. But I've molested her. Ray Evernham chastised me at Chattanooga Motor Car Festival that I took all the original stuff out of it and molested her. And he chastised me. He sat right down in front of the car. I just was blown away by it because it was so unexpected. And then we went to SEMA. We didn't see a single Nova.
No.
Didn't see a single Monte Carlo.
And
Which
we
was really surprising to me that you said that you didn't see any. Because
none.
Yeah, we went through most of SEMA, I think. I think there was probably maybe one section we didn't go all the way through.
Maybe.
Might have been all the classics. Just kidding.
No, but because most of all of it was outside, the classics, but so many trucks.
There was a lot
That's
of trucks.
all the pictures and videos that I saw seem to be mostly trucks.
Yeah. Tons of them.
How much did the black Nova go for? Do you know?
What black
I
Nova?
don't know. Was it on Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't know. Yeah, we can go back and look at a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's not telling me. I was just curious.
Yeah. No, so I mean, I don't even know that with this, during breakfast, Chris was talking and he says, I started looking at them because I really like the Nova. You know, it's kind of growing on me. And he says there's only 170 for sale in Marketplace in that he saw across the country.
There's been a couple that I've sent you but they're not anymore. They've gone.
Right, and they're not 70. They're 72s, 71s, and 73s. Those are what's going. The 70 is the hardest one. It's the first year of this body style of the Gen 2.
What's
I guess
that?
it would
One
be
of 3,700.
700. But that's the L78, which is a big block 4-speed.
Okay.
I had a 6-cylinder 2-speed Power Glide automatic with 14-inch wheels. My Nova is called a classic. That's that rubber strip that goes down the body line. Mm-hmm. That makes that car what they call the body style as a classic. If that wasn't there, then it had a V8 and everything else, then it becomes a different model, submodel, which we know that we
like
get
an SELE.
That is correct. And back then they didn't have all that per se. They had the SS and RS and stuff.
Yeah.
But then they get these rare options that somebody actually sat on this car until 2025 and banked. We've seen people bring Corvettes in that have 6,000 miles from 1994 and they've held on to them and they're worth $12,000.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, this guy sat on thinking he was going to make money.
Nothing.
And nothing. Because he had to have paid $9,000 for it or something. So he really didn't make nothing. But this guy, he made it.
Oh yeah.
Stuff. It was really so much stuff. But I'd want to know where you're what you focus on wanting to learn next time that you went out. Was there? I mean, I don't even know. Yes, about the best.
So were
product.
they doing a lot of like teaching, or was it just product knowledge? Like what?
No teaching on cars.
Okay,
No teaching on cars. I've seen before where they were doing where Chip Foose would finish a build for overhauling it there or something, or somebody would do something, whatever there. Everything came built. Everything came, show because they're going to take covers off and talk about what they did. But there was the product. It was the new product development where the teaching was going on.
Yeah, and I think it's like any other convention.
Yeah.
Right, like if you go to a doctor's convention,
home.
Yeah.
You're right. They're going to talk to you about this new plastic.
Yeah, if you go to like a heart surgeon convention, they tell you about all these new instruments you can use in surgery, and they teach you how the instruments work. It's the same concept. It's just in the cars, and the car people are just we're different. So we make things just amazing.
No, I took down. I talked about the alignment machine that is
AI
that does it off of artificial intelligence.
I saw the lift. Where you can lift the car and then have the body as well. So it's like a dual lift. So you can because you got to take cabs off of almost everything now to work on them.
So two arms come out, you lift the cab 6 feet, I think it was max, and then you set the rack below, and now you're lifting the cab and the frame. But you've got to have an 18-foot high ceiling to get this thing instead of a 12-foot. So it takes a special shop. People
it does, and most shops that can afford something like that, they have that ceiling space, right? But I think it's amazing because you got to take cab off of almost all new cars now to work on them, and so if you take the cab off and you still have to do suspension work or something like that, you still got to get the car in the air. You don't have to worry about I got to wait, or I got to take up 2 bays now because I got to take the cab off of this when it's on this lift and me put it over on this side.
Yeah, I need somebody to help me. Yeah.
So I think it's a great innovation, and I don't, this being the first year of it, it's going to improve.
Oh yeah. But for me,
and then the prices will change also,
Well, and I hate that we've gotten to a point where manufacturers are building vehicles that they know you have to lift the cab, so they're designing the cab to where it comes off. The bolts, they're one-time use. They're took-together, one-time shear-off bolts. And we've seen accidents where these things are getting hit and the cabs are coming off the frames because of this. And that's designed to, like a NASCAR is designed to disintegrate around the cocoon where the driver is. But this is how they're built now. But you do have to take these cabs off to be able to change the motors and work on turbos and all that stuff, as where back in the day fighting an old diesel that had the cab still on was a pain in the ass and you hated every bit of. You throw a wrench as far as you can and it just wasn't fun. So they've made it to where it's better, but I'm still so disappointed in the new product. I can't even talk. That's a whole nother show.
Car product, the cars that are coming. Yeah. Not the technician.
No. So the story is that we had a bitchin' time, and sorry, Dave, but we had a bitchin' time at the show. We had a bitchin' road trip there and back. We made it there in 4 days, stopping at Mecum. We made it back in 3 days, and we had a great time, and you had a great birthday. I could take her out to the Las Vegas. Welcome to Las Vegas.
I saw her with some Chippendales.
I went out to pop a bottle of champagne, which was apparently completely illegal because she was 19 in Vegas. Yeah, which you can do a lot in Vegas, and
when you're 19.
But nobody gave it. Yeah, no. So next year, and I said
Vegas when you're not 21 is not as fun.
And I said to her, "You're going to go back next year, and you're only going to be 20." She's like, "Let's talk about a big idea. Big idea to help somebody."
You know what we didn't mention is the send off at Ford's Garage.
Yeah,
did do a wonderful send off at Ford's Garage.
That was a good,
Steve came out and brought Lucy, which
that was nice.
The deadline, the whole countdown to everything, and we kept putting videos out about, man, it's D-Day. We're here. We're down to the 11th hour. It's like, and then Steve came in, and Summer and I were in the office with you, and he came in and he said, "Go driver." Yeah. And this was like
his eyes lit up, like he was excited, like maybe.
Oh my! I was like, "Oh, do you think?" So we went and got. I was like, "Summer, let's go. You're jumping it because if you're going, you're going to drive the car too." She's like, "I get to drive Lucy? No, I can't do it by myself."
She's a beast now.
Lucy had a 360 horsepower Blueprint crate motor in her that was pretty worn out, and I'd say we were down to below 300 horsepower. We were down to below 260 rear wheel horsepower, and we put in a TPI motor with every thing that you could throw at it, trick flow heads, all this, whatever. And I'll bet she's pumping 550 to 600 horsepower.
And that's a light car.
And we got in this thing, and it was like you hit the gas and bah!
You gonna put subframe connectors in there?
I've got to do something if we're going to keep that motor in there. Ladder bar, stiffen her up and something because I know I'm going to get some. I'm not worried about chipping new paint because she doesn't have it. But the horsepower
but her paint is pretty.
was massive. But there was a clicking in the steering column. We had the steering wheel was off. We had a pull to the right. Knock sensors. Now we put a fuel tech, Phytech fuel system in there, programmable fuel injection, and it was pinging. Knock sensor was acting up with it because it was pinging. Timing was way off, and we knew at that time there was no way that we were going to do it. So we looped her back around and took her back, and it was great to get in her and drive her before we left. What I wondered was, while we're gone, are they doing anything to her?
Oh no, I kept them busy.
I thought maybe Steve would just say, "Look, give me 2 days on this, and I'm gonna when Kenny gets back, he's gonna hit the kid. Go, Kenny!" And I would have been so pissed off because we were 2 days short, but I'd have been so happy because car show season's here and I'd get my girl and I'd drive. I'm still not in her, and I've been back for several days, but we know that we're going to make her great. So thanks for tuning into this. That's all we really got for the show. You want to say anything?
No.
Fuck you then. All right, so
I don't know what to say. You put me on the spot.
Hit the likes, the buttons, do all the YouTube things. We love you, and come back to us.
Yeah.
See you later. Goodbye.
This is the American Car Classics Radio Podcast.